Shite! The Witcher!
What? Chase the dwarf. Well, where are you, Roach? Where'd he go? This way? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
Take it easy.
Did I find him?
All right. Out.
What's up, guys?
How was your trip? Smooth sailing?
He's still on about that leaky tub from the Isle of Mist.
What's these guys?
Lucky you and that lass weren't in it with us.
You'd not have fit anyhow. You're so laden that boat. We barely made land. And it reeked of fish manure.
You stole my boat.
You stole my boat.
Borrowed. We knew it was yours. Still is. You don't think we'd do that to a mate like you? Plough you soapless while you slept off a bender?
Oh, that's good.
So, gonna give me my boat back?
Why in the God's names would you need a boat in this brush?
Fair enough. Forget I said anything.
What are you guys doing here?
How'd you wind up here?
Our affairs brought us here. Hard times, you know. Got to earn the coin where you can.
Folk around here need surveyors?
We've shifted our efforts. Investors now.
Investors.
They've come for us. Hide!
What's this?
Eh?
What's going on?
You've not seen us?
Where are the dwarves?
Dwarves?
Do not play games with me, Witcher. They are thieves. They stole Lord Dagbor's golden chalice.
Dagborg? Who's that?
The new governor of these lands. The chalice must be found. Tell us what you know, or you will force us to extract it.
Are you threatening me?
That a threat?
The Witcher will not cooperate. Take him.
Looks like we still have some fighting to do. Oh, that was a neat transition. That was a really neat transition. I don't think I saw that in the entire game, that transition. That was cool. Oh gosh. Look around. Look at my mini-map, man. There is a ton of bad guys around here. Yeah. I still got it.
Oh, thank you for that, Witcher. Told the lads back then you're a good fella, and we shouldn't have took your boat.
Heard you've gone into investments. Asset management.
Aye. Investments in movable assets. Well, these days you just never know when...
That extra gold chalice could come in handy. I get it. What did you do with it?
We don't have it. Found a buyer. Mr. Mirror... was it? Funny name. Paid good coin, though.
We'd share it with you. We would, but you look like one who'd just frown on any proceeds from theft.
Aye, you got that righteous frown on you, definitely.
Don't worry, I don't want your coin.
I don't want your coin.
Look at him, all offended. You'd think we showed him a picture of a naked lass.
Witcher's got their creed. No stealing, no pinching wenches at the tavern, and no assaulting travellers.
We make exceptions. For travelers especially.
Farewell, Witcher.
Well, it's nice to see those guys again, I guess. Ugh, look at the blood on the ground. I don't need any of this stuff. I don't need any of this stuff. I don't need any of this stuff. I'm not even going to bother to pick it up. There they go. See them back there? There they are. Alright, let's go hop back on Roach and head over to the inn. Come on, let's go. What's up, dude? How's it going?
Faster.
You have grown lazy, shit ears, drinking your Temerian wheat beer. I shall remind you what it means. The Imperial Army marching.
You will talk.
I will come back for you, I promise.
Yes, if only you've done half what you promised.
I'll come back and take you to Nilfgaard.
You were to stay here.
War never changes.
Bow before your new lord. And assumes his lands to rule with grace and justice. Debts, burdens, and encumbrances owed to any other are hereby
Thought they'd
waived.
stay here forever.
It means you must pay taxes to the noble Lord Dagwold.
This Lord Dagwood, who is he? Some relation of the noble we have.
Oh, Roach is going into the tavern. Duke,
Greetings.
greetings.
Weren't for us, the black ones would have sat here stolid till you no longer.
You're a hero and all mine. Lucky me.
Laugh if you will, but were it not for your Gordek returning and driving them Nilfgaardians off, might have been some Cahir on your hand that would have made off with your maidenhead.
You waited for me, my little Manny, didn't you?
I did. I did.
Okay. Well.
Is it done?
Yes.
Did he believe you?
I have no idea.
For the cockatrice. And we've a new contract. It won't pay much, but I think it worth the toil.
You've been busy.
Here's a level 1 sword for you.
It's yours.
A witch's sword. Swallow. Ooh. Beautiful. May I?
Not here. You'll have ample opportunity soon enough, Witcher.
Let's try it out then.
The Third Northern War ended. The invader from the south achieved complete victory. Robbed of Radovid's tactical genius, the northern realms could not withstand Emir's countless legions. Black banners appeared over Novigrad and all Redania. Weary of rebel raids, Emir Varemres conceded, restoring Temeria as a realm in liege to the Empire. When the guerrillas laid down their arms, the Emperor shifted his forces to other fronts. Through Nilfgaard's victory, Temerians got their country back. And history, once again, proved a consummate trickster. Having dealt with Radovid, Emir of Varemres did the same with enemies domestic. The Emperor's loyal spies named all who had conspired against him, traitors, soldiers, and aristocrats alike. Though their mutiny had only been a murky plan, the Emperor showed no mercy, as was his wont. While the continent lay engulfed by war, Skellige bloomed under Ceres's enlightened rule. Unlike those who had come before her, the young queen did not raid foreign shores, looking instead to her people, tending to her land. The island-bound nation prospered, though its fangs of yore were dulled. Cyrilla, Fiona, Helen, Rhiannon, heir to Nilfgaard's throne, chose the life of a witcher on the path. Geralt taught her all he knew, every skill he possessed, then each set off on their own. Soon word of the ashen-haired witcheress had spread throughout the north, from the Yaruga to the mountains of Kovir. While monarchs moved borders and populations, Geralt and Yennefer lived a calm, quiet life, far from all things political. They breakfasted well after noon, more often than not in bed, and passed the days on lazy strolls and long conversations. Boring, you say? Perhaps. But both had sought this more than anything else.
Well, there you have it. The ending of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, or at least one of the endings. My understanding is that there are several endings. Oh my gosh. I'm a little overwhelmed here. I just spent over 10 months playing this game. I checked, and the first episode I posted was back on May 19th of 2015, so just over 10 months of playtime. And like I said before, when you only play 3 hours a week, it's going to take you a little while to play a game. But yeah, this game has been, well, I don't want to say a big part, but certainly a part of my life for almost the last year. And it's a little, oh gosh, there's a feeling of accomplishment finishing it, but there's also satisfaction in completing such a long game and sharing it on my channel with you guys. A little bit of sadness that it's over. I mean, you get kind of attached to these characters and the story and the world. But I think mostly I'm feeling relief that it's finally over, because it has been a long, long trek through the world of The Witcher 3. As for the ending, I kind of like the ending that I got. I like the idea of Ciri taking over as a witcher. She's a hell of a witcher. I like that somebody's going to keep the witchers alive. I mean, I think that the world still needs witchers. There's always going to be monsters and bad guys and problems that need to be solved, and witchers are very well suited for such things. So I think that it's great that Ciri's going to be a witcher. I like the thought of Geralt and Yennefer running off and living a quiet life. They've certainly deserved it. All of the work that they have both done over the years, they finally get to spend some time together. I like that. I do not like how Emir and the Nilfgaardians basically took over everybody. They took over Redania with Radovid out of the picture. That's certainly something I didn't consider. Radovid may have been a harsh ruler, but he certainly was a master tactician, and he was the one who was keeping Emir and the Nilfgaardians out of Redania. But with Radovid out of the picture, Emir just marched in there and took over. However, the good thing is that Temeria got their lands back. So Roach and his guerrilla warfare was effective in getting Temeria back as having their own country, so that's a nice thing there. So not all bad, but not all good. I don't know whether this was the best ending, and of course that's subjective, you know. Everybody might think that the different endings are better than other endings, but I like that ending. I like it. I like to think that Ciri will stop by and visit Geralt and Yennefer from time to time. I like that thought. With Emir thinking that she's dead, hopefully that means she could travel more freely, a little bit more freely, and maybe she can visit Geralt and Yennefer from time to time. I like that thought. As far as Geralt's good buddies, Dandelion and Zoltan, we really don't know what happened to them, but again, I like to think that they also stop by and visit from time to time, and why wouldn't they? Those are some old, long-living, long-standing friendships. So as for the game itself, overall I really did enjoy it. I did like the game a lot. There were some great stories, both in the main quests and in the side quests. See, off the top of my head, I really enjoyed the whole Bloody Baron thing earlier in the game. How Ciri met up with him, and it helped further Ciri's story along. The whole thing with Uma, the ugliest man alive, that was certainly interesting. It seemed almost kind of like a side story, like, oh, I won him in a card game, and then turned out to be a very, very important part of the story, so that was kind of neat. I liked that. And then the whole thing with the botchling there, and with his wife and daughter leaving, that was a great story, I thought. I enjoyed the story with the crones. I thought they were pretty interesting characters, and we had to make some interesting decisions around there, whether we were going to side with that tree spirit or not, and what to do with the crones. One thing that was left unresolved was that one crone, the Weavess, stole Ciri's pendant, and we never found out what happened there. I was actually kind of hoping that Geralt would go back and get his final revenge on the Weavess, but that didn't happen. So maybe now with Ciri as a Witcher, we could imagine that she goes and gets her own pendant back. I enjoyed being a part of deciding the leader of Skellige. I thought that was kind of neat and unexpected. We were very instrumental in installing Ceres as the leader. Maybe not installing, but influencing that. I was happy with, at the end there, how it sounds like she's a pretty good leader for Skellige, even though it is a little sad that the reputation has dulled a bit. But sometimes you have to make some sacrifices for progress, and I think that, at least in my opinion, I think that that went well. And again, I like to think that Geralt and Yennefer have a good relationship with the people of Skellige now. Maybe they vacation there. I don't know. Would you want a vacation in Skellige? I think some parts of it would be pretty nice. Not an entirely bad place to vacation. The story with Skjall, you may remember when Ciri went through that, what is it, Lofoten? When she went through there, and the Wild Hunt approached, and Skjall basically, I don't know, sacrificed himself to keep the Wild Hunt away from his village, and then ended up just getting demonized for that because the villagers thought that he ran off as a coward, but instead he was really being a hero. That was an absolutely heartbreaking story. Very well done. Just, I mean, in my personal opinion, or my feelings were that, you know, when I first heard about this Skjall guy running off, I thought, oh gosh, what a scum, you know. And then that did a complete about-face when you learned about what actually happened. And then my heart just went out to him when you saw what did happen to him. I mean, he's just like left there just to die in a pit. It was heartbreaking. So I really liked how they gave you the opportunity, Ciri and Geralt, to go back to Lofoten and basically try to clear his name and give him a proper burial. That was very, very nicely done. Let's see, what else am I thinking of? As far as side quests, I'm not remembering anything specific, but man, something that really stuck with me with this game was how so many choices, I felt like I was making the good choice, and then it turned out that, well, there really probably wasn't a good choice, you know? I mean, the one example that I keep coming back to is very early in the game, when you come across a group of people in Velen, I think, who are basically getting ready to kill a Nilfgaardian deserter, and Geralt comes by and he's like, I can't stand here and watch you kill this man. He says he's a deserter. You know, let him go. And the villagers were like, no, we're not going to, and if you won't let us, we'll kill you. And so they attack Geralt, and Geralt ended up killing 8 people, 8 villagers, and you know, so instead of the one Nilfgaardian soldier dying, now 8 villagers have died. I mean, you know, where's the good in that? I mean, yes, it was great that we rescued that guy, and you know, he did desert, and he seemed honest when he said he did have a wife and I think a child that he wanted to get back to, so it was good that we saved him, but my gosh, at the price of 8 lives and all of the other lives that those lives touch, it's just, yeah, very unexpected. But there were many quests like that where I felt like I was making what I felt to be the right, good, or just decision, and then you find out that something completely unexpected happens. There's that motorcycle again. So I really liked that about the side quests, how it's not just a question of black and white. That was very well done. Very, very well done. As for the game itself, like I just said, I did enjoy it. Definitely glad I played it. I mean, this is something that will stick with me for a while, I'll imagine. A little sad that, my understanding is that this is the final Witcher game. I like to think that, there would be a Witcher game as Ciri in the future, but perhaps not, and probably not, because I don't think every storyline ends with Ciri as a Witcher. So yeah, this, other than the DLCs, the one that is currently out now and the one that is coming out, I don't know when, that's pretty much it for the Witcher story, so that makes me a little bit sad. As far as things I didn't like about the game, we might as well talk about those. I hate to say something like this because I feel kind of ungrateful when I say something like this, but I feel like it was too long. I really don't know why they have to make the world so big. I mean, on one hand, that's cool because it gives you more to explore and more to do, but the game is so big with so many other side quests, and not just side quests, but just like these undiscovered locations. My gosh, why does there have to be so many undiscovered locations, that you can get sidetracked, and I felt like I kind of fell into that pit, maybe about a third of the way through the game, halfway through the game. I focused so much on the side quests that I kind of forgot the main story. I forgot how great the main story was. I mean, as good as the side quests are, they are not as good as the main story. The main story is fantastic, and it's kind of a shame. I mean, I actually got to a point where I wasn't looking forward to playing the game anymore, because it just felt almost like a churn, like I was just churning and just running through all these quests just to complete quests, because I had so many of them on my quest list. I'm a bit of a completionist, and I wanted to complete all of them, so it kind of took away from how great the main story was. And so I didn't. Again, I feel ungrateful saying that, because it's wonderful that the developer gives us so much content, but sometimes I feel like it's almost like a race to see who can make the biggest game. This game was so much bigger than the second game, and the second game was so much bigger than the first game, and I've heard that Fallout 4 is bigger than Skyrim, for crying out loud, which is just absolutely massive. I mean, split it up into smaller games, I would be okay with that. But again, even saying that, I feel ungrateful. But yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't complain, because another thing I complain about are games that focus so much on multiplayer that there's not enough of a single player story to focus on. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just never satisfied. I don't know. But this one felt very long. Although I must say that, the option to not do those side stories is certainly there. I mean, if you really role-played as Geralt, like really role-played as him, all you're trying to do is find and save Ciri. First you're trying to find Yennefer, then you try to find Ciri. And you wouldn't do all those side quests. You just wouldn't. You would choose the option that the game gives you. I don't have time for this, And obviously I didn't do that because I wanted to play as much of the game as possible. I figured if the developers created it, I should take the time to play it. I should see what they've created. So, at least the option is there. You could have just simply forged ahead with the main story and done that. You could have done that, and that totally would have been fine. So, that concludes my playthrough of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts about the game and my playthrough below. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope that I will see you again in another one of my Let's Plays soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.